Hi, Auros here. So, I've been planning on making this cartoon show called Unmasked. It won't be fully animated, more like an animatic storyboard style, because I'm just one person and I don't have the time to animate that shit. And I'm going to post the episodes here on YouTube. The thing is, I don't want people to be like, what the fuck is that, as soon as I drop it. You guys should have some idea of what's coming. So I made this video for you where I will explain how the world works the story takes place in. Before we start, I just want to apologize for my accent. I'm not native English, but I will try to pronounce everything correctly. Now that that's out of the way, let's begin. The world we're in is called Haranea, which is very creative on my part, seeing how I just took the Latin word for sand and changed it up a bit. The name is so original because the whole planet is just a big desert. In winter, it turns into a snow desert. Just like on every normal planet, there are some areas that are always cold, some areas that are always hot, and some areas in between that change temperatures depending on the season. It goes from hot to very hot, and from cold to very cold. At some point in the past, the three gods of that world planted their godly seeds of magic all over the planet, and from there life sprang and massive forests grew. This was the beginning of the year zero. From that moment on, we began to count time. Life forms evolved in those giant forests, and the fight for life and death began. The time came where the first creatures became smart enough to think about the world outside the woods. These creatures were the humans. They decided the safest way to live would be to sleep and eat in the desert, but use the materials and the food from the forest. Soon, other creatures did the same, and cities started to appear all around the forests. But these forests weren't the only thing the gods gave to this world. They also created a series of powerful artifacts who would enable their owners to use special abilities. These artifacts were called the Eyes. There were many different kinds: the Eye of Power, the Eye of Shape, the Eye of Light, and many more. But of course, there weren't just some eyeballs laying around. Each eye is represented by a certain object, the most important of them, the spirit mask, representing the eye of the spirit. This one is different from the others, because there's exactly one mask per forest, and there are a lot of rules on how to use it. Every other eye exists just once, and they're randomly spread around all the different forests. Some have one, some don't. So why is the eye of the spirit so special? Well, that's because it was specifically created to protect the forests and the eyes inside of them. Whoever wears the mask will become the new protector of their forest and every artifact that exists in it. The gods also communicate to the people who carry their artifacts to tell them what to do with these powers. The gods can see through them into our world. That's why they're called the Eyes. I won't say much about the story because the show is obviously on its way and I don't want to spoil anything, but I can tell you a little bit. The story centers around a mouse called Haranea, who lives in a human village. Besides of her size and the obvious racism going on, she's part of an exploration group. Together with her gang, she travels to the forest next to her town to search for materials and resources that can help their people. In one of those explorations, they discover a strange object that naive little Haranea touches without thinking about any consequences and gets sent into the future where she learns about her real destiny and other stuff like that. So much about the story and the world. I hope you liked the video. Comment and subscribe. You know how it goes. I'm out.